Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Let's hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what lessons about. Let's hang out. And let's listen to 2 lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Hang Out, the podcast where we are always on the same page, we never disagree about anything, and all of our opinions are correct all the time.
Always.
All the time, always. From the West Coast, I'm Lee Holmes Foster.
And from the East Coast, I'm Ellie Brigida. To those of you who have been with us through this whole journey, thank you as always for listening. If you're a new listener, welcome. We're excited to have you here. Here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This Week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. We are still in our Season 5 Patreon campaign. Once we hit 150 patrons, we will start releasing bonus Les Essentials episode on our Patreon feed. You can also hear our Patreon-only Q&A episode up on our Patreon right now at bit.ly/lespatreon.
And a reminder that we are going to be starting crowdfunding our next podcast musical real soon. So if you are interested in helping out, or if you just have a ton of money that you want to give us for that, or know someone who has a ton of money that you want to give us for that, whatever, just reach out. You can email us at letshangoutpod@gmail.com. And otherwise, if you're just super excited about the show and you just can't wait to retweet all of our posts, that's cool too. It's all going to be coming at the end of the month.
In the greater Les universe, Joe versus Carol just came out on Apple TV. It is going to be queer as shit because Kate McKinnon is playing Carol Baskin, and we all know that Joe Exotic is a gay icon. So
amazing.
Cannot wait to see this ridiculous show.
And speaking of shows that are basically gay, Russian Doll is coming back. And as we all know, Natasha Lyonne is queer culture. We don't make the rules. It just is what it is. So
just is.
I'm super excited, and I hope they just, do make her kind of gay in season 2, because come on, she has such gay energy in that show.
Speaking of Natasha, did you actually hear that they're doing a But I'm a Cheerleader musical?
Yes, I had seen that actually.
So that's exciting. Let's see some more lesbian stories on the musical stage.
Do they need a song that's already ready to go? Because
exactly,
we wrote it and it's fantastic.
Exactly. Hit us up, But I'm a Cheerleader production team. That's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Lee.
Thanks, Ellie and Lee, and welcome everyone to episode 14 of season 5. This is Homopinions, and we have a special guest here today. Ellie, do you want to introduce our guest?
Yes, we are here with Karinda Dobbins. Hi, Karinda. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me.
I'm going to give your beautiful bio to all of our listeners. So here we go. Karinda Dobbins was born and raised in Detroit, where she got her start being a comedian, as her family says, since childhood. She started doing jokes on stage 12 years ago at an open mic in Oakland on a light dare from a friend, and has been honing her craft ever since. Black and Blue is a strong collection of that work delivered in a unique moment covering ordinary life, including her girlfriend's arbitrary policy on household pests, the changes hipsters have brought to Oakland, and a unique packing list for hiking provided by Black women, who you should always listen to. What a bio.
I love that bio.
It's a great bio.
Thanks, Catherine.
Catherine killed it. We are so happy to have Karinda here. Catherine actually reached out to us, and so we listened to your comedy special, Black and Blue, and we're like, okay, yes, we have to have Karinda on the show. So I'm really excited to chat with you. Lee said our title is Homopinions because you have some, I would say, controversial queer opinions, you know.
Oh
I don't
yes.
know, like you hate lesbian weddings, you know, pets, no pets in the house. So
Yeah, that's
We're gonna dive into all of it. Can I ask first who's the friend who dared you? Who dared you to do an open mic night?
one of my friends in Oakland. I'm pretty funny around my family and friends, and she was like, "If I found you and opened a mic, would you do it?" And I said, "Sure." And the only reason I said sure was because I didn't think she would find one. I was like, "Yeah, if you find it, sure, whatever."
Did you go prepared? Like, did you write a set or did you wing it?
Oh no, I wrote a set. I wrote for like
Okay.
a month,
and that was the first set you ever wrote.
the first one ever, and I was the only comedian that night for an open mic, which has never happened, I don't think, in the universe
Yes.
before or after. But yeah, I did like 10 minutes my first time up. That's kind of unheard of. Usually you do like 3 to 5.
How'd it go? How was it received?
It was well received, actually.
Yeah?
I thought that I was gonna stink the place up. I was like, I'm gonna bomb,
You
and
stuck with it. Like, it can't have been terrible, right?
yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, it's addictive. Like every comic will tell you, like the first time you get in front of an audience and people laugh, you're in it for life usually.
I love that. It's like I feel like comedians are like the monsters from Monsters Inc., right? You like collect the laughs in the thing. Do you know what
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about?
And then we have it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're like the only way I can survive. is with
Ellie, if
this.
I dare you, if I find you an open mic night, Ellie, will you do a set and start with that joke?
Yeah, I know. I was like, am I a comedian now? I don't know it.
You gotta try it.
I guess, you know
Lead
what?
with the Monsters Inc. Yeah.
I find that very brave what you did. So I also will say to you, Lee, I'll do it. If you
I know
find,
you would.
If you find it.
Ellie, I'm not convinced I could find a dare you wouldn't agree to, honestly.
That is correct.
So now you guys gotta film it and send it to me.
Yes, I will send it to you. And even
Yes.
if I completely bomb, like it would be worth it. I always say, like, but I say this to like anyone who's like, oh, I sort of want to do this thing, but like it feels sort of weird. Do it for the story. Like no matter what, I do it for the story.
Absolutely. You're gonna have a story to tell after that night for sure.
Right? Even if it's the weirdest, like the strangest thing ever, you're like, well, we can always tell people about it after.
The other problem, though, here's the thing, Karinda, is if Ellie did go up to start doing a set and it was like absolutely bombing, I 100% promise you the end of that set would suddenly just turn into like, and here's an impromptu Cher concert.
Really?
You all bought tickets. You didn't know it. Here's my impression. I've turned into like a Cher impersonator for the evening.
I do a Cher impersonation. So you're
Oh,
saying
you
if I
do?
was, yes, I do, but I can't do. I'm not going to do it right now. Don't ask me to do it. I won't do it.
If you ask enough, she will.
No,
I
no.
mean, if you
But-
start bombing, you could definitely pull out Cher. I think
Right?
that'll save you.
Yeah.
Just keep the wig like on stage with you somewhere hidden, Ellie. You're all set.
Actually,
You're
that's
fine.
a really good idea.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That's like my escape hatch.
I'm gonna be your manager. Don't worry.
But this is not. It's not about me. It's not about me. Okay, so you did this comedy set, like incredible, just randomly, and you did that 12 years ago, right? So when did you make that choice? Because you're like going full on comedy right now, right? So when was that big switch?
I made the switch when the biotech company I was working for, they wanted me to move to San Diego, and I declined. And so after that, I said, this is an opportunity for me to do comedy full time. And I've always wanted to do that. And I had an opportunity to do that. And so I was like, let's do it.
That's awesome. And so you're doing that in LA right now, right?
Yes.
So cool. And you've been auditioning as well, I heard in your special. So what's auditioning been like for you?
It's strange because when you audition, you really are not, for the first couple of rounds, you're really just doing it to a camera. And, you can't play off anyone. And so it's a weird dynamic, but I've been, doing the self tape and I send it in and then they'll be like, no, not you this time. And then I'll do the next one. And so, I mean, it's a good learning experience for me because, I'm not trained as an actor, but I feel like as a stand-up comic, the natural transition is everybody gets into sitcoms, right? So that's the next step for my career, I feel like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that mostly what you're auditioning for? Is like comedy stuff? Like what kinds of roles?
Mostly comedy, dramedy. Yeah, they, want you to be the lesbian sidekick, the main character's lesbian sister, the main character's lesbian coworker. I haven't really
Just
seen
the gay
any.
on the side.
Yeah, I'm the lesbian on the side. That's exactly.
I like it.
I do like that. Leslie on the side. You should put that on a t-shirt.
I'm going to start selling those at my shows.
Yeah, yeah, I'm the Leslie on the side. Right? I mean, it is probably like that's all the roles are just like lesbian, lesbian, lesbian. But like as an actor, do you want to play a lesbian character or would you prefer to be a straight character?
I feel like I can do either one. I was straight for a very long time. Actually, I was straight much longer probably than I've been a lesbian. So I can do either one.
Could do it all. Yeah, you don't want to get pigeonholed into that role like as an actor.
Yeah,
But
give,
it
give
is.
me.
I'm sure they're like, well,
I
gay.
I would ask what about like a bisexual character, but like those don't exist.
Yeah, bisexual, straight. I mean, I can pretend like I'm concerned where my boyfriend is. Like I know how to do that. I did it for a very long time.
I was convinced there. Yeah. You got
Yeah.
it. You've nailed it. Would you ever consider like writing your own show? Like if you were to like write your own sitcom comedy, what would that look like?
I have been doing that. But because usually if you become a writer on a sitcom, which is also, I would love to do. You have to have your own original pilot that they want to see to show that you can write for this for whatever show you're trying to get on. So I have wrote a show with me as a lesbian working in biotech. So that's a surefire hit.
That's the representation I'm looking
I know,
for.
like,
Come
Lee-
on,
Lee can
give it to
relate.
me.
Yeah, somebody pick it up. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, logo, whatever. I'm ready.
This is a niche that applies to me, and I want it.
Yes, you want to see it,
I'm here
right?
for it. Did it have a name? Are you allowed to tell us?
I
don't
can't
know.
tell you.
Ugh, secrets.
Yeah.
I-
We'll bleep it out. We'll bleep it out.
You know what? I need to create a name that I have for it just when I go on podcasts.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Like a fake name, like the what do you do with those when you make like a fake name for
At a
a
hotel?
project?
We'll just call it the K word.
Okay. Nice,
Like the L
nice.
word?
Yeah, the
Let's
L
call it
word,
the
but
K
for
word.
Karinda. I like
Yeah.
that.
I like it.
Wait, what were you saying, Lee? Your fake name for what?
No, I'm saying like how the I don't know, like the government will do that where they'll be like, "Oh, we had this secret project that was running, but we called it like Operation Meatloaf or something," and then that's like not what it was called. I don't
Right.
know. Is
Yeah.
there a name for that? I'm doing a really good job explaining
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
We
I
know
thought
what
you
you
meant-
mean.
I'm smart.
I thought you meant like when you go to a hotel and you're like, oh,
Oh, you give a fake name?
yeah, like I'm a celebrity, but like my name is Penelope Pig. I don't know. Like,
Is that what you give as
That's-
your fake name?
Yeah, that's my really
Okay.
attractive celebrity fake name that I use at a hotel. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so we'll just
now
call it.
everyone's gonna be able to find you, Ellie. You gotta
Yeah.
get a new one.
I know
Like,
people are
is
going to be
Penelope
asking for
Pig
Penelope.
staying here?
Yes, Penelope Pig at this hotel.
Like, yes, she is.
Damn it. I've given up my secret. But I do
We'll
like
come up with a new one.
I do like the K word.
That's how we register for Klexicon next year.
Yeah.
Penelope Pig.
Pig is going to Lexicon. But I do want to dive in a little bit into what we are here to chat about, even though we could just talk about random shit all day because that's what we love
Right.
to do. You had a little section of Black and Blue where you talked about all of the lesbian weddings you have gone to. Can you just tell our audience, just paint a word picture of like the types of lesbian weddings you've been attending?
Rustic is the best word that I can. I mean, lesbians love the outdoors. They love to be in the redwoods, with the trail leading up to their nuptials. So, and in the Bay, it's very cold in the redwoods. So it's freezing.
So you're
Because
just
there's
sitting
no-
at a freezing cold wedding. in the
Yeah,
outdoors.
there's no sun getting in. I was actually at a lesbian wedding where we had to send someone to fetch coats
Oh my god.
because nobody wore a coat. But as the night wore on, I mean, it was just like freezing outside. Somebody had to go and bring like 12 coats, 15 coats for people, just like random.
And these are like, this is a normal occurrence of a lesbian wedding for you.
Oh,
Like, how
yes.
many of these have you been to?
At least 5. At least 5 in
Oh
the
my
woods.
God.
Yes.
I feel like this is like maybe just a Lee, have you experienced this at a lesbian wedding? Because I feel like maybe that's just a West Coast thing. I went to a very different lesbian wedding.
What was the one you went to?
Well, mine was a destination wedding in Greece.
Oh, my.
So it was outdoors, but it was warm and
Yeah,
nice.
it was beautiful. Yeah.
It was gorgeous. Yeah, it was. I think they did a pretty good job. I think when I was listening to Black and Blue, you were saying like their vows are like so like weird and like
And long.
and long and just like what something about souls. I won't tell your joke better than you, but
Yeah. And I actually cut those vows short because the vows are super, super, super long. You know, they go down a path and back again. So yeah, there's like, when they break out the page and then they have to write on the back. That's a lot of vows.
that's when you went
I'm-
too far.
I'm curious though, do these feel like things that are just of a certain moment in time? You know how like weddings have all of these, there's like trends that come and go in waves, where it was like you live through the trends of like everyone having like the colorful sash with their dress and like things that like end up feeling dated. Do you think this is like a this time in history kind of thing, or is this just like a lesbians are crunchy granola bitches and this is what our weddings are gonna stay like?
I think this is a forever lesbian thing. I don't think it's like a flash in the pan or
We didn't have a rustic wedding. My
Yeah,
wedding
what was
wasn't
your wedding?
rustic.
Where was your wedding, Lee?
We got married in Newport, Rhode Island. So like by the water. It wasn't like on the beach, but it was like at a venue on grass, like next to the water,
but it's
That-
still outdoors though.
Yeah,
Right.
It was like outside.
In a different were there trees nearby? You were tree
Not a-
adjacent, I
not
feel
a-
like.
There weren't a ton of trees, honestly. I mean, but I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'm curious. Like, I feel like your options when you get married in the summer are either like a hot, stuffy wedding indoors, or like a church, or you do like a nice outdoor ceremony. It was nice. It was a beautiful day.
I think because it's the Bay Area, there are just a lot of woodsy areas it's kind of like the movie Bugs Life. It's like those bugs are flying towards that light. They don't want to, but they're just drawn to it. I feel like lesbians are like drawn to trees. Like they see some trees, like we got to get in there. So
Just like little gay moths circling some.
maybe a little something in the DNA. It's pulling you towards it.
Yeah. I mean, I think like in the past too, there has been a big stereotype of like lesbians as tree huggers as well, right? Like that. So I understand. Like the tree is really like a third party in the wedding, right? Like
I mean, and it is beautiful and in the day, but usually the reception is also in the woods, so it's going to get really cold and buggy, and it's going to be freezing. And I mean, the setting it looked great. I mean, they had the area, decked out with the settings and everything, but it's just freezing. Like I can't think when I'm cold. I
I
have
get
food in
that.
front of me, and I'm just like I can't even put this fork in my mouth because I don't. My thought pattern has gone away.
So I'm curious then, what is your ideal wedding look like?
Yeah, what would you plan?
My ideal wedding will be on an island. Maybe
Ooh,
Fiji.
that's nice.
Maybe Fiji, St. Lucia, Madagascar. I would love to have a destination wedding on an island on a very
Okay, would
very
you
very
be
warm
would you be
Very
island.
warm. Very warm.
on the beach, like on sand?
I don't know. Sand is a messy thing. I'm kind of
See, that's why
I'm
I'm
neat.
asking, because like we wanted it to be like outdoor near water, but I didn't want the sand of it all.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be on the sand. We'll be near water. You can see water, but I don't necessarily want, the sand in your toes. That gets kind of messy on dresses and stuff.
Listen, if you're near water, well, even if you're on sand, you're near water and not on sand for sure, though. There's gonna be some trees around you somewhere. I promise you.
Palm trees.
There will be some trees.
Yeah, but it's going to be warm, though. That's the difference. Like, my guests are not going to be, like, fetching coats.
Yeah, that's true. I did go to a wedding. It wasn't even a gay wedding. It was a straight wedding, but I did go to a wedding in Montana that was up in a mountain, and it was at like a campsite.
Is this a lesbian wedding?
It wasn't. It was just like a very outdoorsy wedding. But it was at like a campsite, and it was up in this mountain in Montana in the summer, but like high enough up in elevation that like it was warm when the sun was out.
Were there bears? Were there mountain lions? Was there what?
There very easily could have been. Listen, this was like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm like Montana.
Oh no, you know what? It wasn't even in Montana. It was in Wyoming. We had to fly into Montana.
Okay.
And drive hours into Wyoming.
But Montana or Wyoming, you're going to be dealing with wildlife out there, right?
Well, there's no people there, so that's probably makes sense. There's
animals
lives there.
Instead of humans.
It was the most desolate places I have ever been to. Like, we drove through towns that I swear to God were like, here is this town, population 23. And I was like, that's not enough people. That's just not enough.
Are they from this area? Why did they choose Wyoming?
Yeah, they like grew up near there, and that was where one of them went camping as a kid with their family or something. And it was beautiful. It was a really nice, very trees, beautiful nature. It was really lovely. It just felt like you could have had it near any trees.
We didn't have to fly into
functionally, Montana. Yeah, functionally the same trees anywhere. And because you couldn't see anything, it wasn't like on a mountain with a view. It was like drive up a mountain and then into woods where all you see are the woods. And it was so cold.
It sounds like they had some kind of attachment to those particular woods. They grew up around there or something. Okay.
But it was crazy because when we left, it was just that you were so, like, elevation is weird that way, where it was like, it was literally June, and we left their wedding freezing cold, drove 30 minutes back to this, like, teeny tiny little town that we stayed in like, the dinkiest little motel. And from, like, the 30-minute drive was just, like, straight down a mountain, and I think that it climbed, like, 35 degrees just over the course of that drive. You were just like driving into warmth. And I was like, why didn't you have it down here? It's so nice.
This sounds like
it's
all
lovely.
The makings of a horror film, actually.
Yeah, it actually sounds terrifying.
When you said dinky motel, I'm like, oh
no, it was horrifying.
There's somebody lurking around there.
That's not even the worst part. You want to know the worst part? We opted for the motel because the other option was camping up the mountain at the reception site.
No.
Oh, no.
Really
that's white people looking to die right there. That's what that is.
Yeah, that would be an unfortunate ending, I'm sure. But like, well, she was in this sleeping bag, but now she's gone. What happened?
She's gone.
Terrifying. I'm not an outdoors gay at all. Like,
well, I was gonna ask, what would you do? What would your wedding look like, Ellie? What's your dream wedding?
Well, that's why I really feel like there's a huge difference between the East Coast and the West Coast, because your wedding, Lee, is a very East Coast wedding.
It super was.
It's just like, I would have to have it on the beach too, like, and it'd have to be in the summer, and it would have to be warm, right? But I can agree, no sand, right? So like, probably I would go to Cape Cod, and like, it'd be somewhere on Cape. And then the reception's the most important to me, though.
Yeah, I really want the reception. The wedding is,
the wedding is irrelevant, right? Like, it's not irrelevant, right? It's nice, but
the fun is at the reception, right?
It's the party. Like, that's really
you gig a lot of weddings now, Ellie. Do you gig any gay ones? Or are they mostly straight people?
So, Karinda, I sing in a wedding band. So I like most weekends get to attend the reception, but
you're at a lot of weddings.
I'm the entertainment at the wedding.
What's the most requested song for weddings?
Oh my God, I don't know. That's a good question. I guess like some of the songs that we do the most is like I Want to Dance with Somebody, Whitney Houston. Like we never don't do that song. Like there's no way we're not singing that song. Sort of an interesting request is last weekend, somebody requested that we sing Goodbye Earl. Do you know that song? By
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
the Dixie Chicks. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that song.
I do too, but like
At a wedding, though?
at a
That's
wedding,
interesting.
right?
At not a lesbian wedding, like I feel like, sure, you gotta.
She is planning something. She's foretelling.
Yeah, she's literally like, kill my husband.
If I was the guy, I'd be like, wait a minute. Am I going to leave the honeymoon?
Yeah. So that was the most fun request, I would say.
I love it.
Yeah, that was really fun. And they were into it. The crowd loved it.
I love
They
the
loved
Dixie
it.
Chicks.
Yeah, they loved it. But yeah, my bandmates like hadn't heard that song before because they're all men. And so they were like, wait.
Unacceptable.
They were like, wait, they want us to sing this song? Like, they were like, you heard the lyrics, right? I'm like, yeah, I love the lyrics. They're like, ah. I'm like, maybe you don't. I'm like, I know why you don't like them. But
Yeah, they probably didn't care for them at all.
yeah. Yeah. So that was a lot. But for the reception for my wedding, I want it to be karaoke.
Oh.
Of course you do. Of course you
So-
do. Come on.
Just
Screw the band.
bad singing.
Does
for the
anyone
whole
else get
thing,
to
huh?
sing, Ellie, or just you?
No, everyone else can sing. But I guess, okay, so live band karaoke. That's what it'll be. So I'll hire a band to play, but then anyone who wants to sing can come up and sing. I've thought about this a lot.
I see.
However, there is only I have a selection of songs you can choose from because I don't want someone singing a song that like sucks at a wedding reception.
Right.
But anyone can get up and sing. I have a lot of friends who are singers, so I'm actually not that scared that it will be bad.
Okay. Well,
So
I don't.
that's why
So
I'll do it.
nobody that I know is getting up and singing at my wedding. Like, I'm going to hire somebody who can sing, and then everyone else just listens.
Yeah. I mean, it is really fun to be playing at these weddings. Like, people get so crazy. And that is the best part about it, is the dance party. But yeah, that's my idea for my reception. The rest of it, I've sort of like, I could care less about it. Just like show up, say some things, have people cry, and then, get to the party.
I think you mean read a page and a half of
No,
carefully
no.
constructed, carefully thought through vows.
No, at least maybe a half a page. We'll like to have a nice speech, but not a crazy one.
Like, I vow to take you to every farmer's market.
Yeah.
Is that what you've heard? Is that what you've heard?
On the East Coast? I will
Yeah.
always,
What are like the gayest?
I will
What are the
always
gayest vows?
attend your friend's one-woman plays. I will.
Please work astrology into Ellie. Like, I'll always support you through Gemini season. Like, just like something.
I will share my season WNBA tickets with you.
These are amazing. Like, I mean, that's what everyone wants in a wife, no?
I will always recycle.
Always reduce, reuse, recycle.
I'll let your dog in the bed,
Hell
just-
no.
Yep.
Absolutely not. That's
See?
a deal breaker.
Good segue.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/letshangout today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/letshangout.
Let's hang
For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Streaming December 12th on Peacock. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie are back.
That's hot. Loves it.
For a show-stopping reunion that will prove putting on an opera is anything but simple.
We're really good at this.
One thing's for sure, they won't be upstaged.
Good to have you back. Come on, we've got a show to do.
Paris and Nicole, The Encore, a 3-part reunion special, streaming December 12th, only on Peacock.
I found it. I found it.
So why is that a deal breaker for you, Karinda?
I'm just a very neat person. Like I can't have like dog hair, cat hair around. So I don't have a pet. I don't have any pets. I would love to have an aquarium. So
Ooh.
fish is my go-to pet.
Okay.
They can't get out. Like I don't have to walk you. I don't have to change your kitty litter or
You have to like clean a tank though. That's a lot. Fish are a ton of maintenance, actually.
But if I get one out, I'll have the money to have it done. I won't do it myself.
Okay, you'll like hire
yes.
like a fish person,
Absolutely.
like a tank.
Yeah,
Is there a
I'm
name?
gonna have like a.
Do they have like a job title?
I'm gonna have like a Miss Yellow fish tank. I don't know if you ever saw her. It's like in the wall of her house,
Ooh, yeah.
and it like lights up.
There's
So-
like an entire TV show dedicated to like aquariums. Have you seen that? I forget what it's called, but it
I
is like they
haven't, but
install them for celebrities, right? So
that-
it's like those gigantic.
That's the
crazy
only kind
ones.
of pet I want. Like I don't want to be dressing animals, and that's another pet peeve I have. Obviously,
when people dress their animals.
I'm like they have fur. What are you doing?
Lee, do you
Sometimes they get cold.
do you dress whiskey?
We did more when we were in Boston. Like we had little sweaters for because they do get cold. I mean, they get chilly in the winter.
Did
right?
Whiskey
like,
tell you that she was cold? Or like you just
You
assume
you
she's
can
cold?
she like shake. We used to have a little sweater and a little jacket for her like in the winter because like they get and like especially we were living in apartments at the time and it's like you had to take her out to pee and it's like you'd walk out the door and she would just like turn around and I'm like, you are full of urine. We are going outside.
What kind of dog do you have?
She's a Cocker Spaniel, so she's like she's not huge. She's small enough, you know, but it's just like they do get cold. She's
But do you feel like dogs are supposed to get cold? Because when people say that, I'm like, yeah, they do. But
Well, listen, I feel like dogs roundly, just overall as a concept, are like a great example of how humans ruined wolves, right?
yeah,
Like,
because I mean, they started
that's
out as gray wolves, but then we genetically
yeah,
modified them to a point where they need wool sweaters.
right. And booties. We used to get her booties too for the
Yeah,
snow.
I just feel like that's our fault. That's our fault because like we wanted a dog that didn't have hair or that had fluffy whatever. We
We
created them to our specifications, right?
we just wanted them to want to cuddle, and that's all she wants to do now. So in that respect, we did great. But then also, like, she will get cold sometimes, and like Rambo never does this. Ellie just like leans up against you, like shaking, and you're like, okay, come here.
And I
No,
will
he's
see,
a big boy.
He's fat. He's very fat. So he has so much body fat. He's fine.
I will see people walking huskies in LA.
Yeah.
Now, LA gets very, very hot. I mean, these dogs are panting so hard. I'm just like, this seems like this probably isn't the
The climate.
weather for a husky. Like
Not for them.
a full blown, like not mixed with anything husky. So we say that we love pets, and I'm like, I don't know. Because I'm like, you're putting them through some things that they probably don't want to go through.
I'm like,
You dress Rambo up.
I sometimes put him in costumes because I find it hilarious. But like, I just think it's so funny. Like sometimes he hates it. I put a wig on his head and like I can snap a picture and then he's done. Like I can't like keep him in it, you know? But his name is Rambo. He's a pug and a beagle mix.
Uh-huh.
Actually, somebody who listens to Let's Hang Out sent me in the mail a Rambo costume for him.
And you put it on him?
And I tried to put it on him. He like really he does not like costumes, but I just like tried to put it on. But there's like this black wig that came with it. And he looks so, oh my God, he looks so fucking hilarious in it. But yeah, so I put him in costumes because I think it's funny. But to your point, Karinda, like, is that for him or me? That's really for me.
Right.
Like that is
you.
not for him.
Yeah.
He is not happy.
So-
If he could talk,
So
he would be
you-
like, get this shit off of me.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. He would be like,
You wouldn't dress your fish up in anything, is what you're saying.
Absolutely not.
it'd be really difficult to dress a fish.
If you got like a big enough one, I bet you could get a costume on that thing. It just has to be like
Waterproof?
you know?
Yeah. That's tricky.
I mean, like a goldfish, there's not much to work with, right? Like very little body area.
I just wish I had thought of like doggy clothes. Like that's a billionaire right there, right now. Whoever came up with that idea of having dog clothing,
They're brilliant.
Geniuses. Just geniuses.
I wish I had thought of it.
I will say though, the strollers are too much. And I
used to have that part in my act as well about I think it is on the album about I ran into a couple that had a pair of Pomeranians and a doggy stroller, and I'm like, what the world is falling apart right
Okay.
now.
did you
Listen.
wait, is it out of your routine because people were like, I love putting my dog in a stroller. How dare you say this?
Actually, I
Or-
think it's on the album. I think I
Okay.
put it on the album.
I listen, not to play devil's advocate here. Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. We don't have a stroller for Whiskey, but here's what I'm gonna say. We have become the people who bought her a little ramp to get on and off our bed because we bought a new mattress that's thicker, right? So it's like higher up off the ground, and like she's getting old, and also she's like mostly completely blind these days. So so it's higher, and she'd like jump off and like not really have any idea where the ground is waiting to like, smash into her face and stuff. So we did buy like a little ramp so that she can get on and off the bed. And so like I'm not gonna promise that if she got to a point where like her hips went out and she like didn't want to walk anymore, that we would not buy this dog a stroller. Like you become such a sucker for your pets.
To be fair though, like that's just like being nice to her because she'll hurt herself
Mhm.
otherwise. Like if
Mhm.
they can walk,
Right.
You don't
Right, but then
need
but
to put them
sometimes
in
they
a
get
stroller.
old and they're tired, but they still want to go on walks. I don't know.
My
You just
question
have to
has
carry
always
them.
been, and I think this is on the album as well. It's like, what happens if you go away? Let's just say there's a zombie apocalypse and somehow all the dogs survive. Like these dogs can't do anything for themselves. Like they
Oh,
can't
they
eat.
would die
They
promptly and expediently. I mean, like,
They're
yeah, but I
screwed.
mean, but okay, by that argument, like, so would my children. I mean, like, what?
No, because
What?
that's the difference between, because people tell me that their pets are like their kids. Like I teach my daughter to go out and fend for herself. So it's
Right, but like my
so
kids,
it's like when
my
people
kids
tell
are
me their pets
2
are
and a
like their
half and
kids.
3.5.
Yeah.
Like they're not fending too long. Okay, I'll tell you what.
But
They'd have
still,
a
like,
window
my
of
daughter
time.
would be on the floor eating Cheerios long enough until somebody found her. Like she'd be scooping them up, putting in her mouth. But I'm just saying, like, people who tell me that, I'm like, that's not really true. Because if you're not preparing your pet to live without you, then I don't know
And
if
you're
you can
not.
say pets are like your kids. You can say my pet is my companion.
Yes, they are
Yes,
that.
yes.
I would not say that like I consider Whiskey and my children
On the same level.
comparable in a lot of ways. They're not comparable in a ton of ways. I'm just saying the slight helplessness without an adult human around.
No. I know
Similar
I know you're
still
not saying that, but a lot of people do.
in that respect.
Mhm.
A lot of people do
Yeah.
say it.
How old is your daughter?
She's in her 20s.
Oh, I love how you're talking about her eating Cheerios off the floor. So she still would be eating Cheerios off the floor.
Yeah, but I'm saying at 2 or 3, she could.
At least picturing a 6-year-old.
Yeah, at 2 or 3, she could do some things for herself. If should I be, incapacitated at
My 2.5
way.
year old is really great at putting things in her mouth. They are frequently not food. They are not always edible. They should not be in there, okay? She's good at getting them in there before you can stop her, though, so there's that. In a zombie apocalypse, she will drink all of the nail polish remover and just
Oh my. Yeah, that won't end well for her at all.
speed things right along. It's gonna be great.
No.
She's
not at
like,
all.
I'm going to be going along with everyone else and just
Yeah.
okay.
As she's getting older, she's getting better at finding where the food is, but it's not going to stop her from putting anything else in her mouth is the important thing, you know?
Okay. I see.
It's tough.
I actually think our dog might still have the upper hand there on knowing whether or not something is food. Whiskey's pretty good at telling the difference.
Are you guys doing like the refrigerated fruit with the protein, the natural? What's the new trend? It's like you refrigerate the chicken and it's like
Wait, for our kids or for our dog?
for your dog.
I honestly can't tell.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
like
that
they have-
sounds fancy for
Like,
a
have
do you
dog.
like this
mean,
whole-
do we feed them organic? I don't
Yeah,
know.
they have this
Fruit?
whole food trend for
No,
dogs.
she eats kibble. We're not that fancy.
Okay.
We do have some friends who have switched to like, I boil chicken and rice for my dog, and I'm like, we buy a bag of kibble, and I put the kibble in a bowl. I put the bowl on the floor.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Listen, we're cooking for like 2 kids already. No one has time for that. I don't have time.
So you're not on that level yet.
We're not there yet.
I do feel like the only people who call their dogs their children are people who don't have children.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean that.
then you
I
have
mean that.
yeah.
I mean, and that's fine, but I just don't think it's the same.
Yeah, I'm
Not
not going to
quite.
promise we never did before having kids, you know.
It's okay. But yeah, I do not cook for my dog either. Just straight up kibble and wet
Okay.
food.
Okay.
But
Easy breezy.
he is still.
I feel like Rambo doesn't seem hard to please.
he's not. He's like he just eats food and sleeps. That's like all he does.
That's the perfect dog.
He, to be fair, he is a pretty like
Laid back,
at the
chill.
level of what I wanted for a dog. He's perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does nothing. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't like. Well, sometimes he'll play with a toy, but not really. He doesn't like to play with toys. He does. He just literally sleep, eat. That's it. Take him for a walk.
If I had a pet,
I'm-
that's the one I would have.
Yeah. Right.
I'm curious. Well, did you ever have did you have pets growing up, Corinda, or is this like has been a lifelong like no pets policy?
I did have a pet. I had a dog when I was a teenager. Also
Yeah.
had a rabbit. I named her Hip Hop.
Nice.
That's amazing. Rabbits are tricky pets too.
Yeah,
huh?
she didn't live long, but I did have a dog.
They have little attitudes, rabbits, I hear.
They're feisty. Yes. I like that though. I don't mind it.
But you wouldn't go back. No going back.
No, because it was a family dog, and everybody chipped in to take care of it. So that was fine. But as an adult, I think maybe it's because I have a daughter and I never wanted anything else to clean up after. I did my time.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is very understandable. I know. I'm like, don't tell him. But
Rambo, don't listen.
Don't listen to
Cover your
that.
ears, Rambo.
sometimes I do get so I'm like, I wish I did not have to walk you. I'm sorry. I just like really wish I did not have to wake up right now. Like
Yeah.
that is after I don't have Rambo anymore, I might not have another dog. But I do love him. But
Yeah,
it's a lot.
after 18 years, it's like, you want to be fancy free. You don't want something else to look after. And I understand for people who don't have kids, that's probably, not a thing for them. They're excited about that and it's fun and it's great. But I've
Yeah.
been there, done that.
It is the one way that I will say that we will sometimes compare pets to children. Not so much compare pets to children, but it's like, sometimes when you have
I love
I'm
that
going
this is
somewhere
where
good
we're
with
at
this.
right now.
this is where we're at. Listen, I sometimes you have those friends who are just like can't wait to have kids and all this stuff, and you're like, maybe get like a dog first.
Mhm.
Like you have never once been beholden to another like
thing.
creature, person, thing, anything in your life, and like you live your life that way and you like it and you're used to that. And I'm like, I don't know that kids is the first thing you want to jump into. I'm like, maybe start with like a daily walk.
Yeah.
Like pick up some poop in a bag for a bit, see how you feel, go from there.
Then you
I
can
mean,
pick up human poop.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a gateway to see if you're ready to do it for a really, really, really long time. Like if you can't do it for a pet, you definitely can't do it for a child.
Yeah, you're not going to enjoy having kids, that's for sure.
Yeah, you won't make it.
If you don't like having to go home after work to walk your dog instead of going out to get drinks, like children might not be the best
Might
choice
not be
at
the
the
thing for
moment.
you. Might not be
That's
the thing.
all.
Yeah,
There is that.
for sure.
Because I do feel like in terms of like responsibility, pets come in a little, a little under kids. Just a little.
Just a little bit.
A little
Just a
bit.
scope.
A
Just
little
like a
easier.
tiny bit.
Just pretty much the same, but like a little, yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious. Do you have any other I feel like the word is that I'm saying is controversial, but like not really. But just like
Ellie's like, what else can we rag on right now? That's what we want to
do you have any other like unpopular lesbian opinions that like other lesbians would be like, what? That's crazy. You don't like, do you have any more of those?
I don't like building things. I'm not handy.
Mm,
Ellie,
Uh,
can you relate?
I really can. My girlfriend is a Home Depot lesbian. Like,
yeah,
she
my
freaking
girlfriend
loves
wants
it.
to build the things because she likes to save money, and so if we build it, we don't have to. I'm always like, pay somebody to do the thing. Like I don't want to.
Mhm.
I don't want to build it. I don't want to put it together. I don't want to be nuts and bolts and wrenches and screwdrivers and
You don't like the feel of hammering your own thumb?
I
You
have
know?
my aunt and her girlfriend, like they have all the things. It's like the wood shop stuff you had in high school, all the building the tables and the chairs and the everything. I can't do it.
Okay,
No.
but question, do you like having stuff built for you?
Oh yes.
If she does it.
Oh yeah. But we have
Okay.
to do it together.
Oh,
Mm,
see, that's
it's a
that's
bond.
hard.
Neither one of us
Experience.
are kind of that kind of lesbian, but if we do it together, we let me tell you, we put together an IKEA table, like a small table, like you could sit a record player on it. It took us like 18 hours.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I mean, if you get something from IKEA, it's got like 2,000 screws, right?
it's the worst.
See, whereas like I simultaneously love and like hate a little bit putting IKEA furniture together. Like I love doing it, and at the same time I'm like, there's gonna be so many pieces, but then also I'm like, the challenge. Ha! I love
Yeah.
it.
No.
I mean,
Flat pack furniture,
I
man.
felt like
I'm for sure a flat pack furniture lesbian.
I felt like, because I think I did a post on Instagram, I felt like us putting that together we knew for sure that we were meant to be together because
Mm.
we had a lot of patience with each other because it was difficult. I mean, it's
How many times did you mess it up? Did you have to go back?
like twice.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
and
there it
we
is.
had like one piece in the end that just wouldn't fit, and I was just ready to smash it to pieces, to be honest, but I couldn't because
You were so close.
I was so close. I was like, if this leg doesn't fit into this bolt thingy, it was a lot. It was a lot.
I do feel like that is the ultimate test, right?
It
Like,
is.
can you build IKEA furniture together? If
I
you
mean,
can't,
if you can build IKEA furniture together, I feel like you could just get rid of therapists. Just get rid of them. Just bring a box of IKEA furniture in a room, put it together or not. It's like that will tell you
That's
if you can be together.
yeah.
I don't need a PhD. I just need a box of IKEA furniture, and I'll tell
Oh
you.
my God. Wait, I just had
Can,
that's such a good
are you
idea.
thinking someone should make a show?
Yes, dating show. But like, I think these people should,
100%.
like, this is the first date. That's your first date. Is
Yeah.
build IKEA
Yeah.
furniture, and then it's like rotating people. Like, you have to like keep going to the different stations and build with different people.
Yeah, and you
And
have to
then-
build
well-
like more complicated things. Like if you get through the first one, that's just a table. Okay, now this bunk bed.
Yep.
And
Here's,
then-
you
and
know
then
what?
by the end,
Shed.
you've built an entire house, and then you're like,
Yeah.
wow, we have a
and then
home
you get to
live
move in.
Yeah, and it's
You
yours.
haul into the house.
We're like,
Oh
how
my
did
God.
this happen?
That would be a
It's-
great lesbian show. Hey, can we sell this to Logo right now? Like,
Yeah,
let's
right?
do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, because listen,
Someone put
you know what
together a
else is
treatment.
genius? You know what else is genius about it? What's genius about it is you could not do that as a straight dating show.
That's true.
Because it wouldn't work. It would just be a dude being like, I'm building the furniture,
Yeah.
and the girl would just like sit there but no, if you make it be like it's only gonna test that dynamic for like
Mhm.
queer relationships
Yes.
in such a beautiful way, and then you literally do get to U-Haul in after, Ellie. Listen, we need, how do we like patent this, copyright it, trademark
Copyright it.
that shit right now.
Do it right now.
If anyone's listening to this, we have trademarked it. You can't
We-
take
You can't have it.
We will sell it. We will sell it. Get it. Let's get
Yes.
it to our managers. Let's do it.
Where's Amanda Holland? Get out of here. You can't have it.
It's brilliant.
I would host the
It's
hell
so
out of that
good.
show.
Right?
Oh my God.
Like, don't you have like a whole thing about tiny homes in your thing too?
I do. I love
It
tiny
all
homes.
goes together. It all goes
It
together.
all it's weaving right there. It's like
Yeah.
I can
This
host.
would be
I can
such
host.
a good show.
I can host that show, and then right after that, I can host the tiny house show. To just move the furniture into the tiny house
Exactly.
after they build it.
Wow. I would watch that show. But yes, I'm not the builder. Honestly, my girlfriend gets so excited when we go to Home Depot. Like, she like sings the Home Depot song when we get home. I'm like,
Oh my
oh my
goodness.
God.
What's the Home Depot song?
Oh, what is it?
You do more, get more done, or no? That's not it.
No, you know it, Lee. Well, how's this Home Depot song go?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God, I'm gonna call her.
I feel like our lesbian cards are being cut up right now. None of us know
I
the
know
Home Depot
she
song.
does, and she sings it. She really does sing it, and I haven't like whenever she sings it, I'm like, yeah.
Why is the only song I can the only jingle I can hear in my head right now is like the Dunkin' Donuts one, and it's not that.
I hear the "We Are Farmers." Like, what is wrong with me? Wait, I'm playing.
Just
it.
pick a
I'm just-
commercial jingle and sing that.
I'm just something is
And then
coming
at
in
the
my
end go,
head where
Home
doers
Depot.
get it done or something. I don't know what that is from.
Oh,
but
it's like bum 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 bum
Yeah.
bum 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 bum. Yeah, that's the Home
that's
Depot.
something different.
I just want us to turn all of the other jingles into the Home Depot songs now.
Such bad lesbian.
We are Home Depot.
But yeah,
I'm pretty sure my favorite stupid one would be KARS Home Depot.
Oh my God, I met someone who donated their car to Cars for Kids.
Did they really? Has
Yeah.
anyone done that ever? That's
I
amazing.
literally know a human
I thought it
being
was a legend.
who donated their car to Cars for Kids.
Really?
Crazy.
What a hero.
Is that's a pretty good tax break when you do that, right?
That's what I said to him too, and he's like, "No." It was. I'm like, cool, great.
Oh, well,
He's like-
he says he's a sweetheart. Then he's just doing it out of the
Oh,
Yeah,
kindness
amazing.
of
he's
his
just
heart.
doing
He
it for
just
the
cares
children.
about the kids.
Usually,
Yeah.
people do stuff even for charity because they get some kind of tax break or write off for it, right?
Yep, but no, he donated the car to Cars for Kids.
Nice.
It was like his grandma's old car or something, so he basically was like, it was not worth enough for a tax write off.
Mm.
But a child's got no. Okay, so also, do you know what? So I'm sorry. Do you know what Cars for Kids does?
I feel like I have an idea, but I'm not sure.
So, because I was
They
like,
give it to a family that needs it, right? Who has kids?
okay, so that sounds like that would be it, right? Like you're like you think that they're giving these cars to people. No. Cars for Kids takes people's cars, sells them, and uses the money from the cars to help the kids.
What?
Exactly.
That's a lot.
Right?
That's
a
the
very-
weirdest middleman charity.
Right.
That's
What?
a very roundabout way of helping children.
Right?
Why wouldn't you just have people donate money?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's strange.
So they just sell the cars on auction and just use the auction money to to
What?
be fair, now that I'm saying I don't know what they do with the money.
I feel
for the
like my
kids.
whole life is a lie right now.
But yeah, that's what it is.
I never would have thought that's what was happening with
I
Cars
know.
for Kids.
Yep.
I thought they
You
were
heard it here
giving it to
first.
families who had kids who needed to go to like
Expose
doctor's appointments or
on
like get
Cars
dropped
for
off at
Kids.
school or
No.
I mean, they have like that whole little logo with the car and kids. What? How could that? What?
nope. That's
Nothing
it.
in that logo suggests this car is being sold for cash and cash is given
Nope.
to children.
That's it. They sell them. That's
I'm
it.
disappointed.
I know.
I am as well.
I want to go back to before I knew that.
I know. I'm so sorry.
How could you, Ellie?
And yeah,
How
okay.
could
And then
you?
they use the money to invest in after school programs, but they don't.
I
give
mean, well,
anyone,
that's good.
they don't give anyone a car.
That they
So-
should change that name then.
I know. I knew this. I knew that our who knew that our
I
conversation
know this is
would
really
end with
long,
Cars
but Cars
Kids.
for Kids, and then we sell the car and give the money to the kids. I mean, that's a really long name, but
yeah, but at
Yeah,
least
right.
we understand it better, right?
You can't fit that on a sticker pretty easily. That's tricky.
cars on auction for
Cars
For
for
kids.
cash for kids.
Yeah,
to get
cars for
money.
cash for kids. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's better. But yeah, so that's what I know about cars for kids.
I want to know what that meeting was like when someone sat down and was like, I have an idea. And they're like, we get people to donate their cars. And then someone else was like, and we give the cars to kids. And he's like, no. Sell the cars, donate money to stuff kids like to do.
So dumb.
Just genius.
I know. If you can donate
Peak white man idea.
and
right there.
you can also donate boats. And you
For
can also
kids?
yes. And you can also
Boats for babies.
you can also donate real estate. What the
kids?
hell? Yeah.
This sounds
This
like
sounds
a
like
money
sounds like a
laundering
pyramid
scheme,
scheme.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Also, like-
For
something
kids.
weird is happening here.
Yeah, something does not sound right.
This
this
is not
sounds
where I
like the
expected
guy
this
who's-
episode to end up.
this sounds like this guy who's running that some kind of pyramid scheme, tax evasion. He's got like an offshore account in like the Caymans or somewhere.
Yep. This is our expose on Cars for Kids. So don't donate your cars.
I hope it's just him helping kids, but it sounds like a roundabout way to do some shady shit.
There's that. But yes, I don't.
We
want to
went
look-
off on a tangent.
We
Didn't
really did. We really did.
Yeah, we're gonna rope it back in.
Yeah, how? I don't know. Oh,
I don't know either, but
unpopular lesbian opinions. Do you like Subarus? Cars? Are you a Subaru fan?
Ooh, Subarus for kids.
I don't like
Yeah.
Subarus.
See? Comes back again. You really don't?
It's funny. I do a comedy show with my friend Daya, and we used to do like a little comedy skit like before the comedy show got started. We did a skit about how, because there was like a rash of like people getting assaulted in like Uber and Lyft, and I was like, we should just have like a service that just lesbians, and it would be like, Subaru
Yeah.
Lyft. I don't know what you would call it, but it's like, you're safe with us. Like we're gonna Lesbo Lyft.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Lift or
we're gonna
something, yeah.
we're gonna pick you up in our Subaru and our 4x4 and our we're gonna have like farm to table for you in the back seat.
Yeah,
A little
granola
cheese
waiting
plate.
for you in
No.
every car.
No, not granola. Like we're gonna have like some homemade jam, like some bread made from scratch. Like we're gonna have some, because we have all the stuff. We have the farm. We got the goat from goat cheese from
Yep.
everything. We're gonna
A
do it
little
right.
charcuterie back there. I like
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
yeah, and you don't
All the
have to
stuff.
worry about us, driving you to a location and doing some things that you weren't ready for. Only thing we're gonna do is give you farm to table food. We're gonna pick you up in the Subaru. We're gonna drop you off safe.
That honestly sounds amazing.
Yeah, right? Just think about like getting in an Uber where you don't have to like sit there and wonder like, do I out myself in this conversation? Do I pretend? What do I do here? Like sir, there are 35 minutes until we are at the airport. Like just
We don't need to talk.
we don't need to go that deep.
Yeah, we don't. We don't.
We do not.
Whereas if it was like,
Well, it depends
lesbian lifts, you'd be best friends by
It
the end of
depends
the
on what kind of
ride.
music he's playing. If he's playing like Britney Spears, that's probably safe to say.
Mm, true.
If you're listening to like some things where I'm like, okay, I feel like I can be
On the
myself.
same team. Yeah.
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 I just love where this conversation has gone. I literally said to Karinda at the beginning, I was like, we're just going to talk and see where the hell
We're
this
just
goes.
we're just gonna go where it goes.
And it
And it
has
goes
gone
to,
in some great places.
Just a deep dive into Cars for Kids. Where, it's what's weird is how many of our episodes end here, honestly.
This episode's actually
How-
sponsored.
how does this
by
keep
Cars
happening?
for Kids.
Right.
I had to slip it in somehow, so I was like, let me see what I can do. Amazing.
Incredible. Well done.
I think it is time, though, for our Q&A. Are we ready?
I'm so excited.
All right, let's do it.
Q and gay.
Question number 1. Have you ever done stand-up? A, yes, B, no, or C, not yet?
Yes.
Easy one.
Ellie, the answer's not yet for you.
Not
yeah?
yet for me, I guess. Yeah.
I'll hold you to that. Okay.
We're looking for that
Question
open
2.
mic for you, though.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to find it.
I'm
Question
scared.
2, what's your favorite type of wedding? Out of the following choices, A, courthouse, B, destination, C, church, or D, woodsy?
That would be destination in a warm place near the water, far from woodsy.
As
It
warm
sounds
as possible.
it sounds real nice.
I'm so into the warm part of it. All right, question number 3. What's your favorite part of a wedding reception? A, the dancing, B, the band, C, the food, or D, the booze?
See the food for sure.
Mm.
I
You have
love
to
Good
have
food. You got to have good food.
I love a reception with great food. It makes
Mhm.
everything worth it.
All the woods from before.
From shivering in the cold, I need to burn some calories.
Mm.
For burning calories, I need to eat food. So
There you go. Gotta bulk up for those
Yes.
weddings, for those cold winter nights.
Yep.
Question 4, are you A, a dog person, B, a cat person, or C, a fish person?
C. Double down on C.
The equally common choice of fish person.
Definitely a fish person.
When you're saying that, I feel like in my mind, I was thinking like a person who is a fish. Like half
Are you a
fish.
lizard person
Yeah,
or a fish
like-
person?
Am I a mermaid person?
Yeah. Like
You can't
I
see
know,
my feet
like-
on this interview, so I might be.
Yeah, you could
You
be.
don't know.
We have no clue.
I could be a chocolate Ariel. You don't know.
We'll never know.
Amazing.
All right, question number 5. Would you rather A, buy assembled furniture, B, put together IKEA furniture, or C, build your own?
What were the choices again?
So the first one is it's pre-assembled. So like you get a couch, like you're just
That
carrying
one.
that couch in.
That one. You don't
do
even
not
have
have
to
to
tell me
build
the
it.
other ones.
Big,
All right.
strong
I
dudes
want
lug a
it-
couch into your house.
I wanted
like,
to come put together. I
There
don't
you
want
go,
to
yeah.
have to assemble it. I don't want to have to bring any tools. I don't want to have to read instructions. I don't want any of that. Bring it to me already together.
Remember, you can also give us your own answers to this episode's Q&A questions on our Twitter at Let's Hang Out Pod. Karinda, thank you so much for hanging out with us and having this ridiculously
Thank
weird
you so much.
and beautiful
Is my
conversation.
lesbian card still intact? I don't
Oh,
like
yeah,
pets.
yeah.
I don't want to put anything together.
You're perfect. You're
I-
perfect.
I
Listen, we have no requirements here at Let's Hang Out, okay?
Only requirement is you
I
come
don't
on
know what my
on
carbon
this
footprint
podcast.
is.
Now you
Yes.
have a new stamp on your
Yeah,
Yay!
we're actually, we have the
validate,
power to
yeah.
stamp those cards. Yeah, we validate on the way out. So
I thank you. I love that we have diverse lesbians. We know we come in all different
listen, if we can't make fun of
types.
ourselves, then what are we gonna do?
I know, right?
So
Yeah.
true.
I love it.
Tell our listeners where they can find you, all your socials, all of that.
They can find me, Karinda Dobbins. I'm Karinda Dobbins everywhere. Like, I didn't do that fancy thing where some comics do, where you different name on different apps. Like, I'm Karinda Dobbins on Instagram, on Twitter,
Easy, I like
on
it.
Tumblr, on Facebook. My website is karindadobbins.com. You can find my debut album, Black and Blue, on blondemedicine.com. You can also go on my website and find it, and also on any streaming service that you have: Spotify, Tidal, Pandora, SiriusXM, Apple, all the
Amazing.
things. It's on all the things.
And do you have any shows coming up that people can attend?
I do have a show coming up in Los Angeles. It's Les Fest.
What a
April
great name.
2nd, 7 p.m. showtime at the Renberg Theater in Los Angeles.
Amazing.
Hopefully, I will see you there. It's going to be a great time.
Yes, any of our LA listeners, please go send us pictures.
Yeah, come take a picture with me.
Yes. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was so fun.
Yeah, it was. I really had a good time. Thank you guys for inviting me on. It was fun.
You're so welcome.
Yay!
Let me hear you say hip, 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 well, yeah.
We love hearing from all of you. We love continuing to build this little gay community that we have. So we just like to shout out some of our favorite things every week. And this week, we want to give a shout out to one of our listeners, Crystal, who reached out on Instagram to request a Les Essentials for Gentleman Jack. And listen, nobody wants this more than I want this, more than we want this, more than I want this. We are ready as soon as we do tend to wait for shows. We try to wait until the show is all finished so that we don't, we can get it all at once.
We got to get the
because
entire series.
It's
Yes.
important. So as soon as Gentleman Jack wraps, which hopefully won't be soon, but also I do want to do a Essentials on it. Don't you worry. We're going to talk some Ann Lister and some Ann because I'm ready. I'm already gearing up for I gotta rewatch it before season 2 comes out. So it's gonna happen.
Speaking of shows that are in their final season, Killing Eve, we could do a Les Essentials on.
Oh, it's coming.
After this
it's
season.
coming.
So
don't you worry.
just don't wait.
I'm already excited to write a freaking
a
bonkers
Killing
murder
Eve song will be
for it.
amazing. Yeah.
It's gonna be weird.
As always, I can't wait. As always, we want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster,
Jess Klaus,
Tanya Ferguson,
Jacqueline Rose Nishino,
Sarah and Julia,
Danny Gunlock Tamura,
Brittany Ray,
Alana Rosen,
Lizette Stye,
Stacy,
Adi Benitez,
Fiona W,
Whitney Lennon,
and Jennifer Trujillo,
and our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen,
Leah Hendley,
Liz Chen,
Julia Gonzalez,
and Ashley White. Thank you all so much for all your support. We could not do this show without you.
Remember, you can also find us on all social medias. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Let's Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at letshangoutpod@gmail.com.
You can check out our website at letshangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you use for podcasts, make sure you subscribe so you'll be the first to know when new episodes drop.
Also, make sure that you have listened to all of the episodes of The Flame. It is available on any podcasting app. And if you want to follow our social media accounts for our new production company, where we will be talking about all the updates for The Flame and Journey to the Heart and any other new shows down the road, we are at $beanprod on all of the things.
We are also putting videos up on our YouTube channel, just smaller clips of each of our episodes so you can see our faces and our lovely guests' faces. Make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/letshangoutpod to catch them.
If you want to help support the podcast, the fastest and easiest way to do that is to go on the Apple Podcasts app, leave us a rating and a review. It helps new people find the podcast.
If you want to support us, you can support us on Patreon at bit.ly/lespatreon. You'll join our Patreon family, get access to our Discord chat, Essentials viewing parties, and all kinds of fun extra perks.
And if you want to help support us making all of our musical podcasts and getting The Flame up on stage, you can find the Patreon for that at bit.ly/theflamepatreon.
If you want some Let's Hang Out merch, you can get that at bit.ly/lesshop. We have all kinds of shirts and tanks and totes to show off your La Dollar Bean Pride.
If you want to follow us individually, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Ellie Brigida. With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee.
And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey, guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.